Hello, everyone, and welcome to How to Start a Virtual Assistant, a profitable virtual assistant business. So, my name is Tika Scarborough. I am a business Christian coach, and I want to welcome you and I want to thank you all for registering for this training today. So, we are going to just go ahead and we're just going to dive into it. So, what we are going to cover today is what is a virtual assistant, right? What's the difference between a virtual assistant, a telecommuter, and a freelancer? Who can become a virtual assistant? That is the question, right? And benefits of being a virtual assistant. Who utilizes virtual assistants? What services are provided by virtual assistants? And how can I make 5K or more as a virtual assistant? And that's what you came here for, right? Other than learning all the things that you need to know about being a virtual assistant, you also want to know the important part, like how am I going to make money being a virtual assistant? Also, how to find clients. That is what we're going to learn as well. So, a little bit about me. I am Tikwa Scarborough, and I also have a successful virtual assistant agency called Power Pro Assistants. And Power Pro Assistant is a virtual assistant agency that provides services for business owners. And my ideal client for my agency is nonprofit organizations, ministries, and coaches. I do have other clientele as well, but those are the the industries that I want to work with and that I love working with. Is about serving people. I have been a Christian business coach for about 4 years now. I am a certified John Maxwell business coach and speaker. I am also a author. I have two books that I have written. One is To Be or Not to Be an Admin, and the other one is Embracing Your Season of Singleness. The other book that I publish is more of a intentional goal setting planner. So I do have that planner for 2021. However, look out for 2022. And that is a planner that even if you're not a virtual assistant, you need an intentional goal setting planner. I also have empowered over 100 women to achieve their sales goals. And that's very important. And just to achieve that, to be able to empower those, especially me as being a single mom, to empower others to achieve their sales goals is an honor that I'm able to help others in that area. I empower single women with children through my singles ministry. I do have a singles ministry called I do have a singles ministry called Embracing Your Season of Singleness. Long name, right? But that is a ministry that I have where I work along with my partner. Her name is Denise Sutton. I am still single and I am still a single mom. I have two sons and I have two grandsons. So let's dive right into it, right? So that's what you came in here for. What is a virtual assistant, right? So as you can see here, I have virtual assistant and I have VA, which can be used interchangeably. So a lot of people are getting used to the short version, which is a VA. And I know I tend to always use VA because I'm used to it in my industry. But I also have to remember that a lot of people still don't know what a virtual assistant is. So by me saying VA, they're like, what is a VA? Right? So that is what we're going to be talking about here, is what is a virtual assistant. So a virtual assistant is an independent entrepreneur providing plethora of services. It can be from administrative services to technical services. Whatever your superpower is, you can use that for a virtual assistant business. And the great thing about being a virtual assistant is that you can do it from home remotely. You have your computer, you have a phone, you are good to go. and it's on a contractual basis as a virtual assistant. So a lot of people get confused by virtual assistant, telecommuter, and freelancer. So I just want to clear up that right now. So what's the difference between the three? So like I said previously, a virtual assistant is someone who works remotely from home in their home office, and they're running a virtual assistant business. Now, running a business where it's your business, you named it, you're doing it solo, and you are taking care of the operations of your business, and you work on contracts. A telecommuter is someone who typically works for a company, whether it's full-time or part-time. So I am still a full-time worker. I work my 9 to 5. I love my job. I am a senior executive assistant at the job, but I decided that I wanted a new venture as I am on my way to retirement, where I wanted to help other women, women like me that was single and working from check to check, to work from home, doing their own business. So of course, I was afforded the opportunity to telecommute from work, right? Telecommute while I'm working for my company. So that's telecommute. That means that that's not my business. I'm working for someone. A freelancer is someone who works remotely, but they can work remotely or they can work on site. Basically, it's still their business, but they're working on project-based assignments where they may get hired for a project for a limited time. It could be a year or more or less, right? And still, that is still on a contractual basis. So who can become a virtual assistant, you may ask, right? So business acumen to help start, grow your own business. So basically, you have to have the knowledge of business, the mindset of how a business works. So if you are someone who worked for an organization for a plethora of years, like I have been with my company for over 20 something years, I know organizational skills. That brings us to the next bullet, which is communication skills, interpersonal skills. And the best thing is networking skills. If you are good at networking, you are in like Flynn, okay? Because when you decide to become a virtual assistant, like myself, who is an introvert, that doesn't work in the industry. Because if you don't talk and if you're shy, then you're not going to be successful in this business. You have to be able to have those a certain personality, and also be able to talk and communicate with people so you can let them know about how great your services is and how your services is going to benefit them or impact their lives or their business. You also have to have great organizational skills and project management skills. And these are all the things that I have gained over the 20 something years that I have been working at my corporate job. So what are the benefits of becoming a virtual assistant, right? So a lot of people get into this business, and I have seen it a lot, where it's like, oh, okay, I could default to being a virtual assistant because I could offer some services because I just want to make some money, right? That's all fine and dandy if you want to do it as a side hustle. So people do it as a side hustle, but if your heart is not in it and you don't have the passion, then I don't know how successful you're going to be in this, right? So there are a lot of people, a lot of reasons why we get into this business. And one is impacting and helping others. And as I stated earlier, when I introduced who I am, I have a nonprofit, which is an International Limitless Women. And under that is my singles ministry, which is Embracing a Season of Singleness. I also have my Power Pro Assistance agency, which I provide services for nonprofits, ministries, coaches, and so on and so forth. So I got into this business because I wanted to make an impact on others. And how I make an impact is by serving others. I love serving others. The flexibility and the independence done it for me as well. Okay. So I further on in this presentation, I'll show you what I mean by flexibility and the independence of being a virtual assistant, having your own virtual assistant business, but being able to do what you want to do in your own business and set your own schedule and your time, right? If you choose that you want to work 20 hours a week rather than working 40 hours or more at a corporation, you can do that while making money. The income potential is you can make as much or as less money as you possibly can. Okay. So, like I mentioned earlier, you can use it as a side hustle, as supplementing your income, or you can use this as a profitable business and you can make income on this business. The best thing about being a virtual assistant is it's low cost. Okay, you don't need a lot of money to start up your virtual assistant business. If you have a good computer and you have a phone and you have social media, you are good to go. Okay. So I want to tell you my story. Personally, I told you the business side of it, but this is the personal side of me. So as you can see, my business, Power Pro Assistants, this would not be if I didn't have my family, my support, my rock, and the community that I serve, right? To empower me to want to do more, right? So this is how Power Pro Assistants came about. It's all the experience that I have packed up inside of me and sharing it with the world and helping others. And I cannot do that without the support of my family. What's important to me is my personal development. All the years of service that I have done at my job, my personal development was the most important to me, as well as serving people at the job, right? So I wanted to build up my personal development. So that is important to me personally. I just became a pup grandma. Yes. Okay. So my son wanted a puppy. He was allergic to it. We got a hypoallergenic dog and he's doing fine. The puppy's doing fine. Well, spoiled already. And again, I love serving others. So like I mentioned, I have a singles ministry where, as you can see here, I collaborate with other ministries and we go out to feed the homeless. So on the picture on the right here is a picture of a family that we were giving food out on that day, and they gave us permission to take some pictures so that we can share that to others, to let them know that what we do and what we do for others to help others in this world, right? And I'm silly, I'm an introvert and I can be silly. I have two grandchildren. I have my niece, I have my son, and sometimes when we all get together, we get silly. So TikTok is their thing. So I do the TikTok with them sometimes. Okay. So that is my story here. So who utilizes virtual assistants? Okay. So when a lot of us get into business, we don't know the industries. We don't know who we're going to offer these services to. So I just wanted to break it down to you. I wanted to break it down by individuals, small business owners, and large organizations. Now, when I say individuals, you can have a client who does not have a business. You can have a client who is a stay-at-home mom, and she has children that, in events and things that she has to manage. One of our clients, we help her in her nonprofit, and we also help her in her personal. So we manage her personal calendar and we make sure that there's no conflicts when there's graduations, when there's football games, when there's soccer games, or things that she has to attend that's important. Setting up doctor's appointments, canceling, rescheduling, and doing those things. So not only can you serve small business owners, you can serve a person individually in their life. And there are people out there that need a virtual assistant to do these things. They need someone to send out cards, to shop for them online and get some gifts. There is just so many things that you can do with being a virtual assistant. Now, the small business owners are authors, journalists, coaches, counselors, and therapists, just to name a few on here, as you see in the list here. So some of the small business owners that we and my company serve is, like I said, nonprofits, ministries, and coaches. And we had other industries that we served as well, but those are the main people that I love to work with. So that's another great thing and advantage of working and having your own virtual assistant business, is that you get to work with who you want to work with. It's not that you have to stay with somebody and be miserable, because we didn't get into this business to be miserable and be unhappy with it. We want to do what we love, and we want to show our clients that this is what I love doing. Don't worry about it. I got this. You focus on your core business. There's also the larger organization. If you want to target the larger organizations, like corporations that are downsizing, as one of the examples, that are looking for virtual assistants who are going to provide them some admin services, right? Or a company with short-term projects, whereas they need someone to do their social media, right? So if you are a social media manager, you can manage their social media for their corporation. And then there's other professions, other industry organizations that you could get into, like I mentioned, nonprofits. But the whole idea is finding your market, your niche market that you want to market to and that you want to serve. So what services are provided by virtual assistants? There are so many. This is just a few things that I have put here, but it's from accounting to bookkeeping. And a lot of people think that when they say or hear virtual assistant, it's just administrative services. You can have a specialized service, where we'll talk about that later, how you're going to make your 5K or more. So that's the reason why you came here, so that you can see how you can make money in this industry. So if you are a good writer and you do proofreading and editing, and that's something that you love to do, you can do that for authors. Okay, you could provide that services for them. If you like data entry, there are companies that require, a lot of data entry, and you can work with the databases and do some data entries, billing, administrative services. It's just so many things that you can offer to your clients. But again, we want to zone in on your superpower. And that is the most important thing, is what is your superpower? It's not about how many services you have, it's what are you good at? Like those things that people will come to you and ask you over and over again. Think about it, right? If someone asks you to come and do a PowerPoint, say, oh, I'm having this presentation, or I need a presentation done for this event, or something like that. I know that you could get this done in 5-10 minutes and you produce a beautiful presentation. These are certain things that people don't think about. Certain people ask us all the time, and we can do it in less than 5 or 10 minutes. We can turn that gift that we have into a service and provide that service for others. Okay. So how can I make 5K as a virtual assistant? So that's what you came here for, right? You want to know how you can make money in this industry. So how you can make it is picking a specific niche. Now, a lot of us get into this trap where we feel that we can serve everybody. And when you have that mindset that you serve everyone, guess what? You're going to be the same green apple that's lined up in the back. You're going to be along those lines. And when you pick a specific niche, you stand out. That helps you stand out, because now you have a specific niche that you are focusing on and that you are targeting. So say, for example, if you are a social media manager and you love, say, for example, helping companies, that help children, handicapped children, or something like that, right? And because perhaps maybe you have a story, maybe you have a family member that has a story, and you know about this because you lived it, you breathed it, you know about it, you care about it, and that's where your heart is at, right? And perhaps maybe that is the niche that you want to get into. So you got to remember, there are two niches. There's one, the specialized services that you're going to provide, and two, the industry. What niche, what industry you're going to target. So the most important thing about you niching down to that industry is that That is an industry that's going to look for a specific virtual assistant that knows the industry. So they will pick someone who knows the industry over a virtual assistant that just offer all different types of services and don't have a specific niche and don't know anything about handicapped children, right? Versus you who knows about it, you know the language, you have a passion about it, and they can see that. And by you getting on that consultation with them and talking about it, they're going to pick you because you stand out from the rest. You only need a handful of people. A lot of people think that they have to have a lot of clients in order for them to make money. So I'm here to tell you and to teach you and to train you that you do not need to have hundreds of clients in order for you to make money. If that was the case, I would stick to my 9 to 5 job. Okay. Because that's what you're going to be running. You're going to be running a business that you're going to be working 40 hours or more because you're trying to juggle different industries or different types of clients and doing different types of things where you're not even going to have time for yourself, for your family, or anything like that. So this is why we want to charge with our specialty services. That's why it's so important for you to pick a specific niche. Now, when I say handful of people, all you need is that one client. When you have that one client, you're going to work with that client and you're going to do top of the line service so that you can get a testimonial. And all people need is to hear that testimonial. When people refer your business, it's because you have done a phenomenal job and they're going to tell people about you. And that's how you're going to attract high-end clients. So it's easy to attract a steady flow of potential clients without having a big following. So what I'm talking about here is social media. So if you have social media and you're following specific people, right, that have 20K followings, 100K followings, right? I'm here to tell you, and I'm just being transparent because I've been, around for a while. Don't believe the hype. That's all I got to say. Just don't be afraid of the numbers. Okay. I don't have a large following, but guess what? The people who are following me, they are quality leads and they want to hear and they want to read my content. They want to learn from me. Okay. And I don't have 20K or 100K following. Now, new virtual assistants thrive because they don't need many people to get 5K a month or beyond. Now, when I say new virtual assistants that I know that works with me because I teach them the foundation of starting a virtual assistant business. Whereas versus someone who's training you to be a virtual assistant or coaching you to be a virtual assistant, it's okay to charge hourly rates. I don't do hourly rates. I didn't start out doing hourly rates, and I understand some of the points that some coaches do train their new VAs to do hourly rates so that they can see what work it takes into it. I say skip all that because that's just more work, all right? Because you got to keep track of the hours. Do packages as well, because this is what you get. This is how many hours you get, and this is how much you're going to get billed every week, not the up and down type of thing. How many hours I worked for you this week and how many hours of this. This is the package I offer. 10 hours for 500, 20 hours for 1,500, whatever that package may look like. Okay. So stand out. So how you're going to make this 5K a month? By creating your signature package. When you create your signature package, it's off of your superpower. What is your superpower? So when I talked about identifying what are your niches, you may not know podcasts, you may not know social media, but those are in-demand services. And when in-demand services are in competition, if there's competition in that industry, that's a profitable niche. You want competition. Okay. You want competition with your business because that's how clients are going to find you. Okay. Because they want your services. Now, podcast management is one of those high in demand niches. and services that people are looking for, because there are a lot of podcasters out there, right? I podcast as well. You can set 3 levels of packagings to setting it at your highest, being your most popular package, right? Because they're getting everything. They're getting top notch. They're getting editing. They're getting the posting to all the platforms and things like that, right? So that their podcasts are reaching their audience. And if you are a good strategist when it comes to that, that's a plus as well. Offering an executive VA service plus a profitable in-demand niche is profitable as well, because even though you have a profitable niche, if you have a podcast, if you're a podcast manager, businesses always need an administrative assistant. Every business needs an administrative assistant. Okay. So you can offer administrative assistance plus a in-demand service, a specialty services such as podcasts, YouTubing, video editing, and etc. Social media is another industry that is booming and people are wanting. There's a lot of people who doesn't want to do their social media. They don't know how to strategize on social media. They don't want to create the images. They don't want to create the content. So if you are good at this, you can make money and you can have a signature package for that. So how do you do that? So you have your high end versus your low end packages, right? I mean, your low end. If you are a high end virtual assistant, which I coach and train my virtual assistant, is to be a high-end VA so that you could attract high-end clients. Your signature package will be, this is just an example, $1,250. Maybe that's a social media package, right? Where you're offering a amount of services that they get a month, right? So how are you going to make that $5K a month? You're going to have 4 clients a month so that you can make that $5K for the package of $1,250. Now, when you're moving up and you have more clients and now you're able to manage and bring on more clients because you already, got settled with your 4 clients and you feel that you have room to make more money. That brings you to 8 clients. Now you want to make $10K a month. It's possible. Now you're moving in the ranks of being a virtual assistant agency where now I need to hire out. So that I can bring in more clients and I can help. This is where the impacting lives come in as well. When you're impacting business, you're impacting other lives. So now that you're a virtual assistant, you're helping another virtual assistant by giving them a job with your company. There are virtual assistants that just want to use it as a side hustle, like I said, so they can take on small little projects. So say, for example, you're doing podcast management. You can have someone that's just doing the editing or just doing the graphics or whatever for that, and you're doing everything else. You can outsource certain things that you don't like to do, like those tedious things that you don't like to do. So what does that result in? You're working less, you have better results, and you have happy clients, okay? When you have a low end and you start out with the low end package, now, we all know that if you're not working, you have expenses. And this is why I always say, take out a spreadsheet and write all your expenses down, because that is what's going to motivate you to push yourself to make your packages at a higher rate, because $450 a package is not going to work for you. If you got bills to pay, you got a mortgage, you got car notes, you got medicine that you got to pay for your kids, you got things that the kids are in, lunch, all that stuff. You got to calculate all that stuff. And I always use that as an inspiration and motivation when it comes to my packaging and my pricing. So if you have a signature package that is $450, that means in order for you to make $5,000, you need 11 clients a month to make that. Okay, so what is that going to be? That is going to cause burnout. It's going to be shaky results, and it's going to be uncommitment from clients. They're not going to want to work with you because it's not consistent. You're not giving them the high quality work that you said that you was going to give to them, because you lowballed yourself. And in order for you to make your budget for the month, you're taking all these clients at this low price. So my thing is, I vote for high end. Okay, so how do I find clients as a virtual assistant, right? So I'm not going to really go into how to find clients, But I'm going to go into a little bit on what you need to do in order for you to attract your client, right? The clients that you want to work with. So what I put my clients through is a perfect client avatar assignment. It's a long assignment where it makes you think about the type of clients that you want. So I know I am a Christian. So it says in the Bible, right? Habakkuk 2:2, write the vision and make it plain, right? So that's what you're doing with your clients. What type of clients do you want? What type of clients do you want to work with? Who is that perfect client that is like that? This she or he is the it, like, ooh, I want to work with her. Okay, because she is the perfect client for me because I'm going to be able to do A, B, C, blah, blah, blah for her. We're going to have a great relationship, an everlasting relationship where we're going to build on that. And I'm going to be referred by her. That's somewhat like who she or he is, right? So that's the first thing that we need to do is identify who is your ideal client. Because if you don't know who your ideal client is, then guess what? You're going to be talking to the world. You're going to be like underwater with so many fishes in there, right? And you're trying to get attention from somebody in there because you have so many fishes in the sea and you're trying to talk, but nobody can hear you. And that's how you're going to be without having an ideal client in mind. So ideal client is, who is she? What is her name? What's her age? Is she single? Is she married? Does she have children? What city does she live in? What business is she in? Does she like coffee? Does she like tea? What does she wear? How does she like to dress? Does she like to dress in empowered suits? These are the things that you need to be asking yourself. And the most important thing that you need to know about your client before you go out there and look for her or him is that you need to know what your client pain points are. So this is why it's so important for you to know what your niche is, know what market that you want to target, and also have a perfect client avatar at your desk. Okay. So that when you create content and you are doing organic marketing, you are speaking directly to her. You are speaking directly at Diane. Have you ever saw a landing page and it was a course that perhaps maybe that you needed, and as you were scrolling down and reading the bullet points, it was hitting those pain points that you were feeling, and you was like, oh my God, this is me. Oh my God, this is how I'm feeling. This is, oh, I need this course. Well, this is how you want your ideal client to go to your website, and it's screaming their name. Anna, I know what your problem is. I know what your pain points is. Click that link and book a consultation with me. That's what you want, okay? Before you start looking for clients. So we have to create a foundation for our business before we go out there and start marketing. And that's why a lot of us stop and give up on our business, and we're not motivated because we are doing it the wrong way and we're not doing it the correct way and building a foundation for your business. That's just like someone who's building a house. When you have the contractors and those professionals that come in and build a house for you, they have to build the foundation, right? They have to build the foundation of the floor, the walls, and make sure all the components and everything are in place so that when that person moves in, it's strong. There's nothing that's going to break that house down. You won't fall through the floor. There's a foundation there, and you can have your house for 30 years or more, right? So that's what you want to do for your house, for your business, for your baby. So now that we learned about everything about being a virtual assistant, about being finding your niche, identifying who your ideal client is, the market, finding out what your superpower is and what kind of services that you want to provide as a virtual assistant business. I have a virtual assistant business workshop that is very successful. I started this off as a beta course when I was in a training. Actually, I had a coach who was training us how to build our course rather than, I work a full-time job. So being on one-on-one coaching sessions, it became very, very, very tiring. And not only that, it took me away from my family, my son, right? Whereas I'm on a coaching call, go sit down, go watch TV or do whatever, because I'm taking these coaching calls because I was trying to make my income goal as well. So what I did was came up with this virtual assistant business workshop for women who come to me and say, oh, I want to start my business. How do I transition from my 9 to 5 to my virtual assistant business? Oh, I want to stay in my 9 to 5, but I want to build my virtual assistant. How can I do that? So I came up with this program called the Virtual Assistant Business Workshop. Now, this workshop, you're going to get everything that you need. I'm a type of person that will not leave you behind. And my motto is no virtual assistant left behind. Now, in this program, you're going to get online training where you go to modules and, it's a self-paced thing. But the good thing about it is that I have a private Facebook group. Whereas if you're going through one module and you get stuck on something, you can ask your questions, or you can even go live in the group. You can do whatever in that group that you want and ask your questions. And what I normally do is I go into the Facebook group, and if you have a specific questions, if I need to show you something, I will go live and I will share my screen. I will show you what you need to be done. I will give you the step-by-step guidance in order for you to complete and move on in your module. So the regular cost for this virtual assistant business is $497, but for today only, you can get it for $397. Okay, by going to www.tequa.com and using the code VABIZ. If the code doesn't work, let me know, send me an email. I will put it in the chat because sometimes my technical skills sometimes is a little off, and I be thinking I did something right and then it doesn't. So I just want to let you know, when you're in business, believe me, you're going to have a lot of lessons learned. And if it's not working, I want to make sure that you get what you need. So I did put my email in the chat there. So if that code is not working, please email and let me know so that I can make sure that you get it. But this is only for today. So this offer ends at 11:59 p.m. tonight for this offer.
Hi, this is Jessica, and I just wanted to briefly share about my experience with working with Coach Tequa. And I was able to find her late 2020. I was searching because I was a new virtual assistant, and there's just so much information out there. I was overwhelmed, and I was able to connect with Coach Tequa, or Coach T. And with going through the Virtual Assistant Business Workshop modules, all the information is just in one place. She talks about overcoming fear, overcoming procrastination, setting up your new business, time management, finding clients. It really is a wealth of information and knowledge. And if you see my notes, they seem to just be endless. There's so much information, and there's flexibility with the new classes. I'm not able to make the Saturday classes, but the option is there for me to make it up when I can. So very flexible. And one thing that I really value is that Coach Tequa really does make herself available. And I really appreciate that because she has a lot on her plate. She is a parent, she has a business, she is a coach, she works. So I really appreciate that she does try to make herself available, and she's also attentive. If she notices that things may be changing, she will reach out just to make sure that everything's okay. And she really is just a phone call away. So I really valued that, and I'm thankful for all that I've been able to learn by working with Coach Tequa.
So that was one of my clients. So what I would like to do is open it up for questions. If you have any questions, you can put it in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and you can ask those questions. What I'm going to do right now is I am going to stop the recording.